Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Alanna Fox Starks. Hi guys, how are you doing today? My oldest called and told me it is raining cats and dogs. And then he says, well, scratch that. It's actually raining rats with angel wings. Some people call them pigeons. There's a lot of pigeons in the rain, I guess, today over there. Meanwhile, over here, it was raining so much that my pigeons were cuddling up next to the window. Every time I'd open up the window, they'd come near me, probably from my body heat. And also because they wanted me to feed them. We ran out of bird feed, so now we have flax seeds, and they love that. So, it's been raining here a lot all day. In fact, right now it's raining, and earlier we had a thunderstorm. And it was raining llamas and chupacabras. If I was going to work for that fake magazine I made up yesterday, that's exactly what I'd report on. It was terrible. The rain came down so heavy, I had 5 chupacabras in my yard. Oh, God. I tried to prank you guys. I am like the worst liar. I am so bad at lying. If ever you question anything I've said on any of my shows, listen to how I'm saying stuff versus how I said it yesterday in the beginning when I'm trying to give you guys fake news. I couldn't do it. I was just like, what? My oldest wrote me and said, at first, what's wrong with Elon Musk? He's really losing it, right? Like, he doesn't even have a plan. And then like a few minutes later, oh, Mom, it's so obvious you're lying. You're so bad at lying. You need to learn how to lie. And I'm like, I don't know. My youngest too was like, you're not all that good at lying. So you could tell the difference for sure, right? Right? I hope. So I had asked God for a sign a couple days ago to know. I want to know, where is my twin flame? Is he coming? Is he going to be in my life soon? And I've been asking, please give me a sign that I should wait for my twin. Otherwise, I'm going to maybe start trying to date, I guess. I don't know. Well, guess what happened? I saw a double rainbow today. I think that's probably a sign my twin is coming. I'm going to go ahead and put that up on Twitter in the next couple days. I'll let you guys know when I have it up. But I took a video of it. I mean, it was a double rainbow, and the color of the sky on every side of the rainbow was a different shade of darkness. And then I took a picture of the middle part of the rainbow, the big rainbow. There was one was like a half a rainbow. Maybe it means my twin is only half ready to come. I don't know. But on one side, it's just like there's a line in the sky. And I took 2 videos from both windows on either side of my apartment. So if it was just like a trick of the light or my camera or something, it would have shown up only in one, but it showed up in both of my videos where it's like this half of the city's enlightened, that half of the city, well, they're not. I don't know. It was very weird. It's just, it looks so strange. And I get this line in the sky all the time lately, and many, many, many pictures of it. I might have to do a slideshow and put it up on YouTube. And plus all the beautiful skies. My God, Ecuador it's just beautiful. The skies here I spent half my day just staring out the window. It's so beautiful here. But it's also very weird, very weird. So I had a weird feeling to go online and look up Peru news today. Just had a feeling that something weird happened. Oh, and unfortunately did not disappoint me, but also made me very sad. A bus caught fire while the passengers were waiting at a now illegal bus stop. I think it's the bus stop that I've been at many, many times. It's a tourist type bus, like luxury buses. It's not one of the bus lines that I've ever taken because I recognized it, but the electricity, like the electrical wires, caught fire before it left the station, and all the people in the upper deck of the bus, it just gives me the chills because I always was buying tickets for the upper level of the bus, always. And because you could see better, especially because I would take the bus from Lima to Ecuador, to Cuenca, or to Montanita Beach, on all my visa runs. And it's like 20 to 26 hours in the bus. So you're going to want to be on top. You're going to want to see. I mean, it's like pretty intense. But this fire broke out and people started clamoring over each other and fighting to get out. And from the smoke inhalation, they started just dropping like flies, passing out. And the whole entrance got jammed and everybody died that was on top. 12 people were injured and over 20 died. And they said that there's so many people, it's like a big clump of bodies, that they can't really make it out. They're assuming it was 20 people. They haven't been able to count them because they were all scrambling to get out and all on top of each other. So I don't know. That's a really freaky thing. The government of Peru had shut down. Actually, I think it was the government of Lima, the local city government. They had shut down the terminal because a place selling fuel was next door. It had just moved in next door, and until that place can get a new place, they can't have buses there. It's like just too dangerous. And ironically, this had nothing to do with the fuel, it just had to do with the electrical thing. So now they're probably going to definitely shut it down and stop using it. And if it's the terminal, I know it is. It's the most convenient one. And it's the one that everyone in the city, if you want to leave Lima, that's like the best place to go. And it's not too far from the soccer stadium. So it's like right in the center. Anyway, just prayers, send your prayers and love and light to the families of people in Peru who lost people on that bus. What a terrible way to go. And I don't know. If I asked to work for God tonight, maybe that's what I'll be doing, because that's got to be a pretty shocking thing. So there's bound to be some souls over there that just don't know what the hell happened. How come we're not there yet? Are we there yet? They're probably imagining they're on the bus. Oh, God. So, yeah. Another weird thing that happened, my friend Wayne, he wrote me from Arkansas, and he's like, hey, there's another tornado warning, or there is a tornado warning for Glenn County and Butte County in California. That never happens, does it? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I started looking it up, and this is really weird. You guys might find this interesting. There is a tornado warning exactly every 7 years in that area of California. It's like a 7-year cycle. Tornadoes come through. Because I remember 14 years ago is when I was working at a fair in Sacramento, and a tornado rolled through Sacramento and caused $1 million worth of damage of just mostly outbuildings and warehouses on farmland. But it almost hit the fairground, and people were running and screaming and freaking out. I was like, oh my God. And just, they had to end the fair early. It was like a home and garden show or something that I was working at, and we had to pack up the kids. We packed up our stuff. I don't think we ever moved that fast. In fact, I think we just left it. He was like, we'll just take a loss or something. Just like, forget it. Let's get the kids. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. And we went back home. And I was like 14 years ago. And then so I was looking it up. And 7 years ago, there was a warning of tornadoes. And that was it. So how weird is that? Like every 7 years. So I guess that means in 2026, there'll be another tornado warning and or tornadoes. So I don't know. That was another weird one. I just thought, what? That's so weird. Anyway, oh yeah, by the way, when I was getting picture of the rainbow, Ethel and Fred were near me. So I got some good footage of the pigeons. They kept jumping near me, like really close to me. I finally fed them after I'd taken the video. And I told Fred I was going to touch him. And he kept shaking his head no. I'm like, I'm going to touch you. If I feed you, I'm going to touch you. So I did. I started to touch him and he slapped me really hard with his wing. He like scolded me and slapped me with his wing. It was adorable and hilarious all at once. The poor guy. I probably shouldn't be trying to touch him, but he looks so soft. I want to touch him, you know? And they're literally the best fed pigeons on the block. I've looked at all the other pigeons, and all the other pigeons look kind of skinny and they don't look healthy. And my pigeons are like eating freaking flaxseed. Everyone else is eating like all the other pigeons eating half-eaten hot dogs off the street, and God knows what else they're eating. Candy stuck to wrappers. It's so sad. And people don't litter here. They just don't. It's so rare to see any trash on the ground in Ecuador. People take pride in where they reside here. And it's just a good thing. But poor pigeons, that's probably why they're so skinny. They don't, if they're downtown, people will feed them because it's kind of like, oh, look, a group of pigeons. And there are people that will go downtown with giant bags of birdseed and then try to get pictures holding the pigeons and, you know, make money off that. But I did that in Bogota. I held a pigeon. I have a picture of myself holding a pigeon in my hand, and this guy took a picture. We were all holding pigeons, actually. It was pretty cool. But rats with angel wings. Anyway, coming up tonight, I am going to teach you guys how to analyze your dreams properly. There's a lot of dream journals and books out there. We're going to go over that. We're also going to go over the 3 stages of dreams, type of dreams, and what they mean, depending on what time you have the dreams at night. And then we're going to go over psychic dreams, if you're having a real psychic vision or not, and what time of day or night, what time of your night would those generally occur. So stick around. You're going to probably want to hear that. It's more exciting than the news today, other than the rain and there's some exciting things in there. Anyway, I'll be right back. Hey you, have you ever thought about having your own podcast like me? Was it even a New Year's resolution? For me, it sure was. But as I've been looking into this for months, I was daunted. There's so many questions I had. When I was trying to get this off the ground, I was wondering, how do I record the episode? How do I get it across all the platforms? How do I get my podcast on Apple Podcasts when I don't even have an iPhone? How do I get it onto Spotify and all the other places? How do I get people to listen? And how do I make money from my podcast? How do I edit it? Oh my God, I had all these questions and I was so confused until I discovered the simple answer is Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and it is ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you could get paid to podcast. All you need to do is record it. You don't have to go out and look for people to advertise on your show. They help you. So basically what I like about podcasting is I don't have to have a video of myself. You don't know if my hair is dirty or if I'm still in my pajamas or even if I'm wearing makeup. Haha. And it's so easy. I could do this from the comfort of my own home in my living room using this amazing app right from my cell phone. So easy, right? So if you've always wanted to start your own podcast and make money, by the way, doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start. That is anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters that are already using Anchor. Again, that's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast, and I can't wait to favorite you. Woohoo! Let's be broadcast podcast buddies. I'll see you there. Okay, guys, are you ready to start dreaming? If you understand how your sleep cycles work and how your dream cycles work, then you can work with them to create your best dream life while you're awake, actually. It sickens me beyond sick to tell you guys that I wrote a 360-page dream analysis book with my husband who passed away. And it was in storage, and my storage was robbed while I was in Colombia. And it just makes me sick because I had sent it off to several publishers. No one would publish it. The main reason is they said it was too long. 360 pages, I didn't realize, would have been over 520 pages as a published book. It would have been enormous, would have been a huge cost risk for publishers. And I just thought a typed page equals a page in a book. Apparently that's not true because the pages are smaller in the way the typesetting and all that. Well, so I never got it published. It was never published. And now that I know I'm going to self-publish everything, I wish I had a copy of the book. But it was heavy. It was like carrying a chunk of wood. It was so heavy, 360 pages. So I thought, well, it's safe in storage. I've got money. I'm going to keep it in storage. And I don't know. I'm writing a book on loss instead. It's like all I could say. But I do know a lot about dreams and dreaming and dream analysis. I am an expert in this area. I went to Hypnosis Motivational Institute where I earned my certification in hypnotherapy as a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And a huge part of our training was learning a bunch of different modalities that all kind of fit in together. One of which is dream analysis, how to do it the correct way. So what I'm going to give you tonight is pretty much what I was taught there in that school. And someday I will probably recreate from memory the best I could that dream book. I mean, I'm probably not going to add the handwriting analysis chapters because that might have been what made it so big. And I had a thing on synchronicity and coincidence. I mean, it was just like, it was a huge book. It was an amazing book. Oh, Oh, I just thought of something. I might have a way to get it back. I actually might have a way to get this book back. I just remembered I know someone who might have a copy. Okay, well, maybe all is not lost. Oh my God, I hope all is not lost. It's probably going to be okay. This could cost me a couple $100 to get this back, but I'll do it. Anyway, in the meantime, you're going to have this episode to listen to and come back and listen to again and again if you have to. The very first thing I want to talk about is dream dictionaries. So in my life, I've always been super interested in dreams. And before I went to hypnosis school, I had actually purchased 2 or 3. And sometimes I would go over to Barnes and Noble or B. Dalton. I don't even think they exist anymore, but I used to go get these dream books and I would sit in the hallways of most of these bookstores, although Barnes and Noble, they're smart and they've got tables and chairs you could sit at. Well, I would just write down, like I'd have a dream about something and it would bother me, so I'd write it down and then I'd go look up all the symbols and write down what everything meant. Virgo with the lists. I know, always making lists. But I have lists about the lists I want to make. It's so... Ugh. I drive myself crazy. I'm very critical, so I'm more criticizing myself than anyone else. But anyway, I would write it, and I discovered that all the dream dictionaries were just so conflictual. Like they're just so different. And I mean, they can't all have the same exact information. They would never get published, right? So when I sat down to write this book, and, when we were looking into this, we went back and I'm like, I used to do this and this is really weird. So let's look up cats. That's very typical. People have dreams of cats. And it turns out that in one book, to dream of a bunch of cats means absolutely bad luck. In another book, to dream of cats means absolutely good luck. And in another book, it means you have a lot of mouths to feed, so you're going to lose money. And in another book, it means you have an abundance of cats. Cats are good luck, and you're going to get a lot of money. And we were like, this is hopeless. Anybody who has a dream dictionary, if they're going to take the dream dictionary at face value, like, oh man, that's what my dreams mean, they're going to be like following a road that's not even real for them. So if you do have a dream dictionary, take every meaning with a grain of salt, because it might not be even real or true. In fact, I mean, how would the author of this dream book know your mind? And maybe they came from a different culture. In Guatemala, they kill cats and let the dogs run free. In Italy, there's cats everywhere. In Egypt, they used to worship cats. Every culture has a different idea on what animal we revere and what animal we eat. Or what animal we poison because we don't like them. What animal's bad luck? I think in Guatemala, cats might be bad luck, actually. In some cultures, cats are like, they feel like they're trying to rob your souls at night while you sleep. That's why they lay on your chest, and when you breathe out, they suck part of your soul out. That's like a superstition coming back from medieval times. So that's just one example. I mean, there's like, you could look up anything, dump trucks or the sky, clouds, and everyone's going to have a different explanation. So don't really take dream dictionaries seriously. They're super fun to read. I still, every now and again, if I see one, I'll read, stuff, but they're not really ever anything to do with reality, usually. So what you need to know is when you have a dream journal. This is the first thing, if you're going to be serious about interpreting your dreams and understanding your subconscious mind, the best thing you can do is go get a notebook or a really nice book. Like, there's blank books everywhere, even at the Dollar Tree. So for $1, you can have a book, and go, for $1, you can also get a pack of pens or get a nice pen, nice-ish. And if you have more money, go get a $20 pen. Go get a $150 pen. Get one that writes in space upside down, if you can afford it, why not? But just get yourself a book that you resonate with and a pen that you resonate with. And don't use that pen for anything else, and don't use the book or notebook for anything else. Keep it next to your bed. If you are somebody who needs to wear contact lenses or glasses to see, an alternative to this is to put a recording app on your phone or get a recorder, like a little voice recorder, and or even on your laptop, have that handy, but record. You could talk. I just had a dream that blah, da, 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 and then later write it down. Still have a dream journal, still write it down, because what I want you to do is take a highlighter and highlight all of the symbols in your dream. Because if you do it that way, what's going to happen is you're going to start to see patterns emerge over time. And you could also have a secondary book if you want to get very serious and write down, well, like if you're terrified of snakes and you have a dream of a snake, what does that mean? Does that mean a little snake, or does it mean that there's somebody near you that's trying to take advantage of you? To some people, it might mean a lawyer, or, sorry, too many lawyer jokes in the world. But, or maybe if you love snakes, maybe it means you're going to get a new pet snake. If you're super spiritual and you don't have an opinion either way about snakes, maybe it means your kundalini is getting ready to raise, and it's a sign. So there's like different, if you're if you're Christian and you're very religious, maybe it's a sign that there's somebody deceiving you. If the general feeling of the dream is good, maybe, it has something to do with Moses throwing down his staff that turns into a snake. Maybe it means you have power in a situation that you felt powerless before in. You know what I mean? There's like different ways to look at every single thing. So get your dream. So once you have your dream book and you've got your dream dictionary for yourself, personal dream dictionary, now you'll be in business, right? Okay. So during the night, if we're going to sleep, we're going to say that the average person sleeps between, 7 and 10 hours, but we're going to say that if you sleep 6 hours, you're going to break it down into 2-hour increments. And if you sleep 9 hours, we'll break it down into 3-hour increments. So, for example, every stage I'm going to mention will take place during roughly a third of your night. The first stage is generally shorter, and the last stage, if you sleep longer, will be longer. But we'll just say roughly, you could tell from what I'm going to tell you. You'll be able to tell. So, okay, in REM sleep, your sleep cycle goes from deep to light, deep to light, deep to light. So you're flip-flopping back and forth, and you have, on average, approximately 5 sleep cycles per night. You might have 6, you might have 3 or 4. It just depends on A, how much you're sleeping, and B, how much your mind needs to process. Those two, and C, how much you've had a drink or if you've done any drugs, because that does affect it. But basically you have about roughly 4 to 6 or 5 sleep cycles per night. And a sleep cycle is, you'll go into very, very deep sleep, and then you lighten, your sleep won't be as heavy and it'll lighten up. And when it lightens up, you'll have a REM cycle. That's when the REM part starts. REM is when you have rapid eye movement. That's where you'll get your sleepwalking sometimes if you're a sleepwalker, and sleep talking. There's sleep sexing. Happened to me once. It was so bizarre. But anyway, not going to go into that now. But anything that you're going to do in your sleep that's weird usually happens during the REM part. And your eyes will start, it's called rapid eye movement, or REM, because you're like moving your eyes and your eyes flutter a lot underneath your eyelids. And you could see people's eyeballs moving back and forth. And that's the time when your breathing will get more like, like if you're like being chased by a demon or something, you're going to be like more breathing hard. And sometimes you'll get, not when you have restless leg movement, because that can happen at any time, but if you don't have restless legs and you're just normally, you sleep like a stone, during the REM sleep is when you're going to be like moving your legs a lot, moving your arms a lot. I had a boyfriend who, during his REM cycle, during his REM part of the sleep cycle, he thought he was fighting with somebody, and he grabbed my pillow from under my head, and he was trying to smother the guy. Well, before he had fallen asleep, he had taken the lampshade off to see his book better, and he fell asleep with a book on him, and then he rolled over and the book fell, and I think that might have been what lightened his sleep up. So he reaches over, grabs my pillow while I'm asleep, and held it up to the light bulb, which he thought was where the villain was in his dream. And he literally caught my pillow on fire. So sleep, fire starting, that also would be during the REM stage of sleep. Yeah, really bad, right? Like, God. I'm lucky to be alive. So many weird incidences like this. But anything weird that you would do would usually be during that REM part of the sleep cycle. And so your sleep cycle will go like deep to light. And so it'd be like no dreams to rapid eye movement and dreaming. And then you go back into a deep sleep and you don't dream for a while. And then when you lighten up again. So your brain cycles in and out. And you go through various stages. I'm not going to go through all those stages of the brain, but I might at some point, like alpha, beta, gamma, theta. We'll go through that on another day. But because that's also tied to meditation. So when I do a meditation episode, that will be when I cover that. So basically, a whole sleep cycle in general lasts up to 90 minutes, just a little bit over an hour, up to 90. So 70 to 90 minutes is a sleep cycle. Depending on how long you sleep, if you sleep only 6 hours, it's going to be like in increments of 2 hours each for each of the main stages. So now I'm going to get into the main stages of dreaming. Okay. And then I'm going to go over some amazing and extraordinary things that I've come across that I've experienced or heard about or read about. Excuse me. Okay. Now, when you first fall asleep, there is what I personally like to call a mini stage. And if you fall asleep, I call it there's a twilight, the twilight stages. You have one when you're falling asleep and one when you're waking up. So if you have a normal sleep cycle, unlike me who keeps vampire hours, if you have a normal sleep cycle and go to bed in the evening when it's still dark out, then that would be like I would call like the dusk twilight stage. And when you wake up in the morning when the sun's coming up, I call that the dawn twilight stage. Even if you probably don't sleep right when the sun goes down, but who keeps farmer hours? Probably not you, unless you're a farmer and hey, thanks for growing our food for us. Speaking of farmers, this is like completely off topic, but today I saw a dating website only for farmers, for single farmers, to meet other single farmers. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever met a single female farmer who lives alone on her farm, like ever. And I grew up in farming country, so how weird is that? Wonder how long that website's going to last. I will never know because I can't join. I'm not a farmer. Anyway, random, right? Okay. So the twilight stages happen for 15 minutes. And these are the secret sweet spots in which you are gonna want to program your mind with the best possible thoughts, your most positive thoughts for your best possible dream life that you want. Okay, so in your dream journal, or you can have a different journal, have a third book called your gratitude journal. You can have it as your gratitude and best dream life ever journal. Write down 5 things you are grateful for in the nighttime or in the morning. Just do it once a day. You pick when you want to do it. If you have to race off to work in the morning, just do it at night before you fall asleep. 5 things you're grateful for, and then spend up to 30 seconds thinking about how much you're grateful for each thing. And no repeats. I mean, don't say I'm grateful for my mom every day. Even though you're grateful for your mom, I want you to come up with 150 things per month to be grateful for. So we'll go over, I'll probably have a whole nother, gratitude episode, but this is part of the sleep thing. So this is all in my dream book. God, I can't wait to get it back because it was super good. All right. So basically the dream stage, or pre-dream, it's pre-dream and post-dream. So it's not technically dreaming stages, but the twilight stages are really cool because if you do the 5 things you're grateful for, and then you program your mind, you can write down, like from The Secret, you could take that sentence. I am so happy and grateful now that I own a mansion, or I am so happy and grateful now that I've attracted the love of my life. I am so happy and grateful now that my injury has healed. Whatever you need or want at that moment. Everyone is different. I mean, you could give 100 people $1 million each, and not one of them is going to go want to buy the same house as the other one, unless they live in a small town and there's one house that everyone envies. But generally speaking, if you give 100 people $1 million and tell them it's for 100, they have to do a business with it, you'll have 100 different kinds of businesses guaranteed. People generally don't go for the same things. So don't worry about, there not being enough or being in competition with other people, by the way. It's never going to happen. People are so unique and different. So, I'm so happy and grateful now that I've won the lottery, or I'm so happy and grateful now that I got that big contract I wanted, So whatever it is, and then imagine you're in it. So Valerie Love on YouTube just manifested by doing this. She just manifested a mansion in Florida. She manifested the money and paid cash for this house in Florida. And it was a house that she had been dreaming of like for months. Like she'd been wanting it. And she had a similar picture of a different house, but looked almost identical to the house she ended up with. So this is the most powerful time to program your mind. 15 minutes before you sleep, 15 minutes after. And we'll go over that, how to do that, how to really pull in what you want, magnetically attract it. So basically, the first third of your night after you have fallen asleep during the twilight stage, pre-dream stage, is wishful thinking. That is the first part of the night, the first third of the night. This is when you're kind of sorting it out. You're figuring it out. Everything that happened in the past 24 hours, your mind is going to kind of make sense of it all. It's sorting out the information. It's figuring it out. It's only in the past. It's a short term, past. It's like the last day or two. And it's just going to sort it all out. This happened, that happened. This is important. Let's keep it. That's not important. Let's dump it. Let's focus on this because that was an incident that affected us or hurt ourselves, or anything that hurt your brain or hurt your emotional body or upset you in a way. You're probably going to want to work through it. Any traumatic event you're going to keep so that you can work it out. And any normal random incident, oh, the postman came, dropped off mail. Well, that's not traumatic, so whatever. Or the postman came and dropped off mail and it was your divorce papers. Well, crap, we're going to have to work that one out. We'll keep it. So, there's like different things that your brain goes through for like an hour, 90 minutes. It's usually not too terribly long. It's not like 3 hours if you sleep 9 hours. It takes your brain pretty quickly, a couple hours or less, to sort out the crap from the past 24 hours. Then we go a little bit deeper. In the precognitive stage, or the predictive stage, they call it also, the second third of your night, your brain is going to think about everything that's happened in your life up until today, this point. So not only in the past 24 hours, that's now incorporated into the library of all the stuff that's happened to you since you were a baby. So basically what's going to happen is it's going to look at all the information as a whole and try to predict your future from that. Is it a real psychic dream? Usually not. It's just based on data you already have. It's very scientific. It's very analytical about the information it has today. So it's not terribly complicated. It's just, it's complicated, but it's not like trying to pull in information from a million different sources like the universe and the aliens, and it doesn't do that. It's just like, this is what's happened up until now, and this is what we've gotten up until now. How do we predict what's going to happen in the future? Well, let's figure it out. You talked to someone a month ago about getting a job and they called you yesterday. You'll probably have a dream about working in that job. Just super easy, basic. It's pretty basic. Now, the third stage, this is the most interesting one as far as I'm concerned. The venting stage is the last third of your sleep. Out of all the dreams that you can have, and while the first stages are important, otherwise they wouldn't be there, it is really and truly the venting stage of dreaming that creates the most chaos in your life, but also the most amount of change if you know how to work it right. So it's a lovely, most amazing, beautiful part of dreaming, but most people, because it's the last third of your night, it's what you remember most, and it's what disturbs you most, and it is what most people fret over most. This is where you get your nightmares. If you have a dream that your child was killed, or you were killed, or someone in your family was killed, or you have a dream that one of your animals died, or you have a dream that someone hurt you, or that, something, all the most horrible possible things happen in the venting stage. You have a dream that you had a car accident and you rolled your car and died, or someone stole your new Mercedes, or whatever. Whatever horrible thing. Like if you just bought a new house and you have a dream your house burns down, generally speaking, that will be a venting stage. What's happening is your brain is taking all of your irrational fears, all of your scary thoughts, all of the negativity that you've had in your life or in your mind, that stuff that just didn't even happen, and it will vent it all out. It's just like opening a window and letting out the smoke when you've burned dinner, right? That's kind of what a venting dream is. It's just like, whew, don't need that anymore. Release, relax, and let go of that crap. But what happens is people have a dream like that and they go, oh my God, that's going to happen. Oh my God, that's going to happen. And then that starts a recurring venting dream cycle until you let go of it. So now that I'm telling you, in the last third of your sleep, if you have a dream that's really scary and really horrible, be glad. Holy crap, you got that junk out of your subconscious mind. You got that negative emotion out of your emotional body. Your anguish from your mental body is gone. All of it is just being vented the hell out. The other day I told you guys that I had a dream that I was sleeping in a dorm in a hostel. I was the only woman and there's like 20 men in there, and that I got hot while I was asleep. Apparently during my REM cycle in my dream, I had a dream that I was dreaming. Anyway, no, I had taken off my shirt and I was laying there like completely exposed and topless. And so it was just like, okay, but that was a venting dream. I woke up going, that was like so weird. But it could have been a warning that maybe I need to worry about exposing myself emotionally to someone, or maybe that had been one of my weird irrational fears when I was living in a dorm, because I had done that before in my past. And maybe, it was just, I was letting it go because I never took off my clothes while I was asleep before, but maybe I had an irrational subconscious fear that I might do that. So I just had a venting dream about it. I'm not going to do it for real, and I never did, but phew, good, glad that's over. So that's what you need to do. That's the attitude you need to have when you do have a venting dream. So, a lot of times it's just BS. It's just stuff that you can't, it has nothing to do with your reality anymore. Your subconscious mind has said, it's time for us to let this crap go. So, if you are willing to flush it away, that's the time to do it. Don't take it back in. Don't go, oh my God, this is horrible. Oh, I had this dream. Oh, what's going to happen? Because what happens then is now you reach out and grab that piece of trash and you're putting it back in your house instead of hauling it to the dump, right? So now you take that piece of trash back into your mind, and then now you're going to have to go through the whole cycle again, and again have another venting dream and another one, until you finally go, oh, it's just a venting dream, over it. Thank God, thank God that's out. When I had my hypnosis practice, that was like the last suggestion I gave to everybody in hypnosis, is that over the next week, until you come back to see me again, you will have a series of venting dreams, and you're going to release, relax, and let go, and be so happy that you're willing to rejoice that those negative thoughts are gone forever. And people come back going, oh, I had the worst nightmares this week. What did you do to me? Remember that I told you what a venting dream is. And then after like the second or third time seeing me, they go, oh yeah, I'm so happy I'm having these venting dreams now. I feel really, really good. Okay, now there is one caveat when it comes to drinking alcohol. Alcohol sometimes will suppress your dreams for the whole night. And also, when you smoke weed every single day, remember weed is, marijuana is an herb. Cannabis is an herb. So usually it's recommended for every herb that you take it on a cyclical basis. So if it's something that you want to take for a special health condition or something, you take it for 1 week on, 1 week off, or 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, or 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. With weed, I recommend not doing it every night. Every third or fourth day, don't smoke. because what's happening with weed is it tends to suppress your venting dreams. In fact, it tends to suppress most of your dreams. And so the problem with that is your venting dreams will build up and up and up and up, and that builds up emotional stress. It builds up anxiety. It builds up emotional tension. And if you have any anger that you're not venting out your dreams, you're going to build up the anger inside also. So you're building up all this negative emotion. What happens when you run out of weed and your dealer's out of town for 3 days? 2 to 3 days of just nothing but venting dreams all night long. Don't want to do that. You don't want to put yourself through that. Holy crap, don't do that to yourself. So it's more healthy to, if you're going to smoke it, just take a few days off every week and be prepared. Try to sleep extra long on the weekends or something, like maybe you don't smoke it on Sunday and then go to bed very early so you could get all your venting dreams done before you have to go back to work on Monday. And that would be my advice. Also, venting dreams, if you do not sleep more than 5 or 6 hours a night, and with this ascension flu, oh my God, we're all having sleep. We're all being deprived of sleep. Or we're being forced to take these weird power naps in the middle of the day. We're just like, you're fine and okay right now, and you feel great, have a ton of energy, feel like maybe tonight I'm going to go dancing, and then 10 minutes later, you're just like, your brain goes, nope, and you just pass out. I hope to God this does not happen to anyone at their work, but it's happening to me. It didn't happen to me today, but yesterday, like 3 or 4 times. The energy was so intense. I was pulling in so much light from the cosmos that I was just like, I'd be sitting there trying to watch something, and I watched something that was really intense about the Matrix and the scientific evidence that we're living in a simulated environment created by God or they don't know who. And it was like after 3 or 4 really heavy, hard quantum mechanic concepts, my brain just went, nope. And I just like shut down and I fell asleep for like an hour. It was like, what the hell? It was like, does not compute. Oh. It was so weird, but I don't know. It's just like my brain is not working for a couple days. Just my biorhythms have been off. So basically, if you are in a situation where you're not sleeping, you're only getting 4 hours a night, you're tossing and turning, blah, blah, blah. And then you go the next day to lay down on the couch when you get home from work or in the afternoon when you feel like, God, I'm so tired, I'm going to take a quick nap. Guess what happens during that quick nap? You've guessed it. Venting dreams. Big time. All the stuff you need to vent out, if you take an afternoon nap, always going to come through in your venting dreams. I mean, your venting dreams always come through in your afternoon nap. Every time. So don't like take it back into your mind like, oh, I had this dream that so-and-so is cheating on me. No, your subconscious mind has decided that that person's probably not going to cheat on you. And now we're getting rid of it, that idea. That's like super important to understand because those are the things you want to let go of. So be happy. You wake up from a horrible dream that you've had in the afternoon. Whew, glad that's gone. Let's light some sage. Let's eat some strawberries. Let's go on a walk around the block because thank God that's over. Clear the air, literally. Open a window, light some sage. So there are some other things outside of typical dream analysis that I did put in my book and I am going to talk about now. Not at length, we don't have the time, but sometimes if you work for God like I do, I will say before I fall asleep, God, I am willing and able to work for you tonight. Just bring me to where I need to be so that I could do your work. And then I do dream work and I do work in which I'm counseling people. I'm talking to people because I am a counselor. That's what my work is anyway. And maybe your work is to work with animals in your dream state. You know, you can, well, I help people cross over to the other side. I inform them that they have died. I might have to do that for Peru. I'll tell God that I'm telling God right now in front of you guys, God, I definitely want to work for you tonight, especially if you need me to go talk to the people in Peru if they don't know they died. Or anywhere you need me, actually. That's how you do that. It's super easy. So you could do your dream work, your light working work. Maybe your dream work is to help the planet raise the vibration. Maybe it's to clear energy out of a river. If you work with earth elementals, or my ex-husband had a dream in which the elementals came to him and said, we're going to tell you some information that nobody knows, but we're going to teach you how to make it rain. And they gave him some very specific instructions, and there had been a drought in the desert. And so he did those instructions when he woke up, and within an hour it started to rain. He never told me what it was. They told him to keep it a secret, and that secret died with him. Would have been super helpful during, some of the things we've had go on lately, fires in Malibu, fires in paradise. But I mean, maybe I could ask him now that he's dead and we're talking again. Now that I'm a psychic medium, I could probably bring him to me and ask him, hey, what was that little trick? Can you tell me yet? Maybe God will tell me. When I'm meant to know, then I'll do it. I don't need to do it now because it's raining here all the time. But it's like super helpful, right? I mean, to know this kind of information. But they also told him in one of his dreams how to avoid negative entities, negative spirits, and demons. And I'll tell you guys that because he told me that they said he was allowed to tell people this one. Demons, negative entities, they travel in angular and zigzaggy patterns. So if you always in your dream state travel in a circle, in a circular pattern, they can't touch you. Or if you work in a spiral or a circle without any angles, they can't harm you. So that's like kind of weird, right? It's weird information to know, but it's helpful, so I'm telling you guys. So working for God is one thing. Sometimes you ask to speak with elementals to understand what it is that maybe you can help the world. So you say, God, hey, send me the elementals that need to talk to me because I want to learn how to manipulate time, space, and matter in order to make my world better and to make it ever so slightly better for humanity and for the earth and the plants and the spirit of the planet and blah, blah, blah. That might be part of your dream work. Another thing that you do in your sleep is you will sometimes just leave your body and you astral travel around the universe or around your town or around your room. I do one really weird when I actually do astral travel. I either go straight up into like the universe and I leave the planet completely and I just fly around the stars, or I will go to New York City and just fly around the streets of New York City, which is so insane. I don't know why I go to New York City all the time. In my life, I've never been to New York City in this lifetime, ever. I watch a lot of TV show and movies centered in New York, so always attracted to the city, but I've never been. So totally bizarre, right? Like, why am I going to New York City? One time I astral traveled to Bangkok, Thailand, and I watched a bomb go off there. And next day, I told you this already, but I opened up the news, turned on my TV, and there it is. A bomb actually went off there. That was part of my dream work, though, because I had to be there to send love and comforting energy towards the people that witnessed that. They didn't know I was there, but that was my dream. Another thing that is super cool is sometimes we will have a dreaming partner. Sometimes it's somebody you know. It could be your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. Sometimes it's someone you've never met. Like it might be a soulmate or a twin flame. or someone in your soul tribe or soul family. My friend, my new friend, who, because of my podcast, Philip Head, has become my really good friend now. We're talking almost every day since he first contacted me, and we're becoming very good friends, and I'm grateful for that. But the reason why he contacted me is really weird. I have had these recurring dreams for decades in which I am going to these amazing, phenomenal places, like in the middle of nowhere, like going down these waterways. I'm always on a boat, and I always have at least one other person with me. Sometimes there's other people in a boat behind us, and I think they're traveling with us, but it's my friend Philip. Well, he was having the same dreams, and he's like, I've been having these dreams that I'm traveling with you all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, we went to Thailand, right, in Alaska. And he's like, I don't know where we are, but these places are extraordinarily beautiful. They're always super remote. And I don't think he remembered this part, but I was like, I remember always like sleeping in a tent or a van. And the van is white and it's like super basic. It's like we're hardcore travelers and we're like carrying backpacks, and which I don't do in real life. But we always have like a freaking canoe, and I mean, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of the top-notch gear too, which is so strange. So I don't know if this is my future, but I do know that this is happening with somebody else who remembers the same dreams as me. I mean, that's freaking weird, right? And I do keep having this one place I go to by myself where I walk out onto a pier overlooking a lake that's still as glass. And sometimes there's somebody there who meets me and talks with me. Sometimes it's my ex who died. Sometimes it's one of my best friends. Sometimes it's a best friend that I don't recognize in this life, but in my dream I know him very well. And I think sometimes it's like my spiritual guide. So it's like a meeting point. So you might have a meeting point or a dream friend, dream companion. You know, in my trip and travel and adventure dreams, it's almost like extreme travel. And there's no like romantic or sexual feelings in the dream. It's more like a deep sense of appreciation, gratitude, and absolute pure love in the highest form that love can exist, with friends that I've known for since my soul was created. That's what I feel. It's like really intensely cool. So that's really fun. And for a while I had a friend named Doug in Santa Barbara, and we used to travel together in our dreams. And like we'd go to cafes, we'd go on hiking trips, we'd just have fun in our dreams. And then he'd call me and go, that was the coolest dream last night. Where did we go? I already wrote it down. And I'd be like, well, we went to this cafe or this pizza place. He's like, and we played pinball, right? Yes, we did, of course. Oh my God. You know, and we just talk about our dreams. It was so weird. Like we hardly ever saw each other in living life, but we had a lot of dreams together. It was super fun. In fact, there was a book a long time ago, I think in the 80s or 90s, written about how to dream together. Yes, you can dream together, or something, I think is what it's called, or you can dream together. And I saw the book and I was like, oh my God, I've been dreaming with people my whole life. This is so cool. So another super fun thing that you can do in your dreams that I've played around with since I was born, probably other lifetimes too, is psychic dreams. My actual psychic dreams. Not predictive, trying to figure out the future based on the past, but actual, real, true to life psychic dreams. Sometimes you can consciously direct them. Sometimes God will just give you a message, or your higher self, or your spirit guide, or everybody has a dream angel. You can always talk to your dream angel. Before you fall asleep, you can say, hey, dream angel, can you work with my romance angels and send me a picture of my next true love or my next relationship? Or can you guys send me a picture of somebody I should avoid at all costs? Maybe in a venting dream or something? Hey, Dream Angel, I'm on Tinder. Can you tell me who to delete from Tinder as a match? Who's not good? You could use all sorts of things with your Dream Angel, and you can work with your romance angel or your Dream Angel and your career angel, or your Dream Angel and your, I don't know, maybe there's an angel for finding a house if you're looking for a house to live in, or if you're homeless when you're going to get a place to live. Maybe there's a housing angel. I'm sure there's an angel for everything. You can create an angel for anything. Just ask God, hey, God, send me an angel for this particular task. This one thing, So you can do that. You can ask your dream angel, or you can ask God. Now, I have asked God about my past lives. Took me 2 months every single night. I asked God again and again and again and again every night until I fell asleep. And it took me about 2 months, and then I started remembering all of my past, not all of my past lives, but I remembered about 20 past lives. And then I started asking, can you send me people who also remember the lives I just remembered so that I know my past life memories are real? And guess what? After a couple of months, he started doing that too. Now it's been happening my whole life for years. For like 33 years now. 33 is a number again. For about 33 years, I've been getting confirmation about all my past lives I had memories of, because I keep meeting people who know me from those lives. I've had people look me in the eye and go, oh, God, we were in Avalon together. That was the real time and place. We were back then, during the days of Merlin, or, kind of in that time period. It's weird. I've had people come up and just say that randomly to me. It's like, oh, yeah, cool, weird. I don't remember that one, but when I do, I'm going to let you know. So, psychic dreams, though, have a different emotional feeling to them. I used to, when I was a kid, I'd ask, who am I going to meet? Who will I meet in the next 3 months? Or who, when I go back to school, like during summertime, who am I going to meet, or who's going to be new in our school this year? And I'd start asking this about 3-4 weeks before school started. So I'd have enough time to get the dream, because it takes a few days. You got to really, work on it, and ask and pray and ask and pray and ask and pray and pray and ask and pray and ask. And the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and eventually God's going to give you what you ask for. The only reason you won't get it is if it's not good for you to know something. But I'm stubborn. I'm Irish. I'm a redhead. That's like a double whammy. I'm definitely going to always ask until I get an answer. I mean, until a point in which I go to heaven and I meet my spirit guide. My spirit guide says, you cannot know the answer to this. And they'll be like, oh, fine, forget it. I'll stop asking. But I used to dream things about people that I was going to meet. And I had a dream about this guy, and I was told his name, and that and then his locker was going to be to the right of mine, 2 lockers down. And if I start talking to him and flirting with him, because he's super good looking, and I was like 14, this is what my dream angel told me. If you do that, it's one thing's going to lead to another. You're going to end up getting pregnant. Your parents are going to kick you out of the house and say, now that you've done an adult thing, you can live an adult life, take care of yourself from now on. And they were going to kick you out of the house, and you're going to go have to live with his family. And it'll be his mom and his dad and his, siblings and his aunt and his uncle and their kids. And it's going to be super, super crowded. And you're going to end up being not homeless, but you're going to end up living on a fold-out couch in their living room, sleeping with him on that fold-out couch in front of the whole family every stinking day. And I'm like, oh my God. I woke up from that dream going, oh my God, that's like literally a nightmare. And so I get to the first day of school, and this super good looking boy walks in, and I'm like, ooh, he's so cute. And then I got a good look at his face, and I went, no. And I avoided him like the plague, and I treated him like crap until, and the dream angel told me this is going to happen when you're 16 years old. So you're going to meet when you're 14, and within 2 years, you will be in this situation. So when I turned 17, I ran back into him, and I'm like, I have to apologize for treating you like crap for 3 years, but this is what I had this dream about you before I met you. And I knew for a fact that I could not ruin your life like that. Even though we'd probably be madly in love and we would love our kid, I just feel like that's not the best possible future for me or for you. And he ended up playing football and having a wonderful childhood on up through, not childhood, but teenagehood and adolescence. And what's weird is I found his son on Facebook. I looked him up, and what came up was literally his son. He was a junior, same exact name, but with a junior. And he looked identical to this guy. And my redhead genes are strong. His kid would not have looked like that. His kid would have ended up like looking really strange with red hair and green eyes. And it wouldn't have worked. I just don't feel like it would have worked out. Anyway, so you can use your psychic powers. You could become psychic in this way. And this is how I did it, was, besides being a hereditary witch, you can use your dreams to psychically see your future, or psychically see what other people are doing, or ask, when so-and-so said that thing to me, what do they really mean? And sometimes you can have a counsel with that other person. Sometimes God will give you the answer. And the energy of the dream is always going to feel like more electric. It's going to give you a different feeling in your heart, in your gut, in your solar plexus area. Sometimes in your head might buzz or ring. But no matter how you do it, I hope that you have a really fun time with this. Dreaming is fun when you know what's going on and when it doesn't worry you anymore. Anyway, I'm going to sign off right now with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, sweet dreams. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.